Hey, y'all see me? Can y'all see me? Okay, y'all can see me. Oh, wow. So you could probably tell I just woke up, you know. I feel like I should sit up for the camera. Y'all probably could tell I just woke up, but yeah, I just woke up. I was sitting here praying. Went upstairs to go to the bathroom after I woke up. Came back downstairs, and I'm like, it's the New Year's 2023, January 9th, 2023, and I hate my life. I say that to say that I'm dissatisfied with the circumstances I'm currently in, and I'm dissatisfied with my way of life, like my diet, the thoughts I think, my habits, and I want to change for the better. I can't even say mostly. Yes, I can. I'm mostly dissatisfied with my finances, and I desire for that to be better. Like, I want to be financially wealthy, financially abundant, and financially prosperous. And I'm looking for ways to make that happen. And I wanted to get on here and share my experience because I've been called to make YouTube videos and be a content creator, but I just haven't really posted videos. I've recorded videos here and there. I haven't recorded videos on a consistent basis, I will admit, but I have been recording videos and I have content to upload, but I just never went back and looked at it or edited it or uploaded it. So I think that this video may be the video I upload, even though I just woke up. I'm looking crusty faced, my hair is any type of way. I think that this is the call to make the next move. A little background about me. I have been studying spirituality, or as Dr. B. Serious would say, spirituality, for not too long. I started when I was 18 years old, so that was 2019, and I'm currently 21. It's 2023, so it's been about 4 years that I've been studying spirituality, and it's a journey. I've changed so much. I've recognized some ways that I have been toxic in my thought processes, and I've recognized some ways that my trauma has imprinted on my psyche. Basically, by living and experiencing sexual trauma at a young age, I'm talking 5 years old, the next time was 9 years old, and then again at 18, and again at 19. And I recognized a pattern later, like in my spiritual journey, like probably 3 years in. But when I first started, I want to tell y'all about the way I got into spirituality in 2019. So I graduated high school May 2019, and I started college August 2019. So before college started, I went to this, what was it called? It was this service and leadership seminar before school started. So I went there, and it basically had a bunch of speakers from the school and from the neighboring, I don't want to say that. It had a bunch of speakers from the school and then the mayor was there too. The mayor of the town my university was in. He was there, and a bunch of teachers from the school was there too. And then other students who were gonna start at GSU the following week. So it was there that I realized that I had some thought processes, and I had some beliefs that didn't make sense. So before I was in college, no, I can't even say that. When I started college, I was going through this shift of discovering who I was, and also discovering who this old self was and trying to leave behind the old self. So the old self was imprinted with sexual abuse, false beliefs that came from the sexual abuse, false beliefs about myself and the world around me, including the people in it, including the events that happened in the world, including the information that was in the world. So at this seminar that I was at before university, this man approached me. He was a student in the seminar also. He approached me and he was interested in me. He was attracted to me, basically. And I found this out because he texted me and he was like, you know, you're cute. I'm saying this out of context of the text messages, but he was like, you're cute. And I had told him I was gay and everything. Like, I was like, because I thought at the time that I was gay because my sexual abuse. So I told him, I'm like, I'm gay. Like, we could be friends or we could talk, but I don't want to pursue anything romantically. But me saying I was gay was really just a protection, because all the times I've been sexually abused, it was by a male that I was supposed to trust, or that I felt I was supposed to trust. So I feel that me saying that I was gay was protection, and me pushing him away in order to make myself feel safe. And I had done that before I came to university too. I had dated women online. My first online relationship, I was 12 years old, 12 or 13 years old. And I was dating this person online for about 4 years. But really, we were just online friends. And so I have a pattern of dating women. Well, it wasn't even women at the time. I was a young girl. So dating girls online who I had never met. So now I'm thinking about that thought process. I'll probably think about that more deeper. But to stay on topic of the conversation, I was uncomfortable about this man's attention. And so that's what launched me into my spiritual practice, to start studying myself. I hadn't studied myself prior to 2019. I wasn't aware of what was going on in my inner world until 2019 when I started. And I'm just grateful for that moment. So what I figured out, I don't even have my journals with me because I'm not at home, but what I figured out was that I had a distrust of men in general, that I was afraid of men, but particularly I was afraid of experiencing that hurt again, and that disempowerment, that disgust I felt with myself after being molested, after being taken advantage of, after being almost raped. I was tired. I was hurting, but I was acting like everything was fine because I didn't know any other way to be. So after I had figured out that I had developed some false beliefs due to sexual trauma. And of course, it's not just sexual trauma, it's emotional neglect that I experienced being raised by my grandmother. And no disrespect to my grandmother. I love her. I love that woman. She raised me since I was about 4 or 5 to 17. I was living with her. And seeing my mom on the weekends, on the breaks, seeing my dad here and there. So I'm grateful for her. But there was some emotional neglect that I experienced here, not feeling that I was seen and validated, and carrying the trauma of that sexual abuse inside with no outlet, with no adult to talk to. I had told my father and my mother that I was sexually abused. Once I told my dad when I was 8, and nothing came of it. The next time I told my dad when I was 15, and he took me to a lawyer, nothing came of it. I told my mom when I was around 9 or 10, it might have been 11 or 12, and she took me to the police station, nothing came of it. The next thing I hear, the dude who sexually abused me, he fleeing the state in general, and he going down south. I'm like, so what does that make me feel? It makes me feel like it doesn't matter what happened to me. The response that I got told me that it didn't matter, my story, the sexual abuse story. It happened and now I must get over it. But that's not the case. that story, that pain, that the impression that that story put on me, it don't just go away. I have to show love. I have to acknowledge that part of my story and say, hey, it's okay. This isn't happening to us no more. And it's not okay that this happened to us. It's not about going out there and getting revenge. Because for a period, I was very angry. But I still feel that anger sometimes. Stuff deep inside. But I had to become aware of the story so I could heal from it. So yeah, that's how I got into spirituality, by being approached by another male student, another peer who was interested in me. I actually ended up being with him for a couple months, but then I broke it off. That's a whole nother story. But yeah, my male peer was attracted to me, and I told him I was gay, and I knew that I felt fear inside my body, and I knew that was not right. I wasn't supposed to feel that way after someone told me they was attracted to me. And so I wrote it down, and I also did some research, like some studies, to see how sexual abuse affects a person. And I started to understand what was happening inside myself. And that is the catalyst into my spirituality journey. So thank y'all for listening, and peace, family.